Hey, this is Chris with Right Implement again. Good to see you again. Today we're going to talk about the major adjustment that most folks have an issue with if they have a deck on a 1025R or a 1023E. This is a 1025R right now. And one of the common issues that folks run into is on their height of cut control knob down here on the left-hand side of the operator. And on older machines, it would be down in between the operator's feet. That height of cut control knob doesn't necessarily always want to go all the way over into the highest cut position, which limits you in your deck travel up. And so there's a common reason that that happens, and typically it has to do with the adjustment of the 3-point hitch. And basically what's happening is underneath here, where the height of cut control knob cam is coming in contact with the deck lift linkage, the cam is hitting the lift linkage before the stepper cam can actually come over the top of it. And the reason that is oftentimes is the 3-point hitch is out of adjustment. So this is only true for a 1025R. On a 1023E, your hitch is non-adjustable. On the 1025M, which really it's out, but it hasn't really hit the market a lot yet, so we don't see a lot of them. I assume the hitch is the same as a 1025R if you have that set up. But on a 1025R, the hitch is totally adjustable. And you want to make sure that in order to get the full range of motion out of your height of cut control knob, your 3-point hitch is adjusted all the way up. And the reason being is the 3-point hitch is actually what raises your deck up through this linkage down along the side of the tractor behind the rear left tire. So if that linkage can't be pulled all the way up, it's not going to lift your deck all the way up. And then your height of cut control knob can't spin all the way because your cam is going to bottom out on the deck lift linkage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the tractor and show you how to adjust the lift linkage over here on the right hand side. In order to do this, you would need a 16 millimeter and a 5/8 wrench, or 2 5/8 wrenches, 2 16 millimeters, either way, whichever way you want to go there. There's going to usually be some paint on the nuts of the feedback linkage, so that's okay, don't worry about that. Just do your best, loosen those two nuts up. And the goal is, if you shorten the feedback linkage, that will cause the 3-point hitch to raise. If you lengthen the feedback linkage, that will cause the 3-point hitch to lower. So I've already loosened these nuts up for ease of the video, and I'm just going to start the tractor up and let you hear what it would be like when the hitch comes all the way up and bottoms out. Now, you don't want it to come all the way up and bottom out and stay there, okay? Because you don't want your hydraulics to go in relief or you'll damage your system. So the way you're going to adjust this is you're going to shorten the feedback linkage until the 3-point hitch comes up and you hear the hydraulics bottom out. Once you hear that, go ahead and back off the adjusting nuts about 1 full turn so that the feedback linkage lengthens again just a little bit, and that allows the 3-point hitch to drop just a tad to cause the to allow the machine hydraulics to come out of relief. So I'm going to start this up, adjust the feedback linkage all the way up until the tractor hydraulics bottom out so that you can hear it, and then you can watch me adjust the feedback linkage, lengthen it again so that the hydraulics go back out of relief. Now, before you do this, make sure that the machine is in neutral. Make sure that the park brake is set. You don't want anything bad to happen there. It shouldn't start if the machine is not in neutral. There's a safety interlock there. It's sometimes helpful to remove the left rear tire so that you can see the linkage move, but it's not necessary in all cases. I've just done it for ease of viewing today. Now we can see the rock shaft start to raise as I am adjusting the feedback linkage and shortening the feedback rod. And right there you can hear it go into relief. We don't want to leave it there. We'll damage our hydraulics. So I'm going to back off this feedback linkage adjusting nut about 1 full turn. And really all it took was about a half a turn to get it to come out of relief. And when you're doing this, it's really best to run the tractor at about mid-throttle. For sake of noise, we're not going to do that today, but that would be better because you get a more accurate reading. I'm going to go ahead and do it one more time just so you can hear the tractor hydraulics bottom out again as I shorten this feedback linkage. Okay. Now I backed off the nut about 1 full turn. That allowed the rock shaft to drop just a tad. And now I can be sure that my rock shaft is raised as high as it'll go. So as long as it's coming up as high as it'll go, that means that I have the full range of travel that is possible for the rock shaft to pull this deck lift linkage, which will then raise my deck, which should allow this cam to spin freely around the deck hanger bracket. So that's really all there is to it. That's one of the major things people run into. If the height of cut control knob won't spin all the way, they often want to come down here and do something with the deck, and that may be necessary. But oftentimes the major culprit is you don't have full travel out of your rock shaft. So hope that was helpful. And if your deck has any issues, maybe now you can get them resolved. Thanks for watching.